Welcome. If your mind feels busy, pulled in many directions, or caught in familiar loops of thought, let's take a few quiet moments together. This isn't a video about manifesting. It isn't about visualizing outcomes, forcing positivity, or convincing yourself that everything is fine. And it isn't about pretending that life is easy. Instead, this is a simple way of gently orienting the mind toward what may ease suffering and support steadiness and mental clarity. These are simply words you can return to, especially when the mind feels noisy, tight, or overwhelmed. When I'm struggling with mental loops myself, I've found it helps to give the mind something kinder to rest on, not as a solution, but as a place to return. That's the spirit of this practice. The mind isn't shaped so much by individual thoughts, but by what we repeatedly return to, again and again. Over time, attention leaves grooves, and those grooves quietly shape how we experience the world. These phrases aren't truths you need to agree with, and they're not instructions to feel a certain way. They're simply directions. Gentle suggestions for where attention might land when it doesn't know where else to go. Let's begin with the first affirmation. In this moment, I am grounded enough to be here. There may still be thoughts moving. There may still be noise in the mind. That's okay. Grounded doesn't mean silent. It doesn't mean empty. It simply means that right now something in me is settled enough to stay. I am present. I don't need to be present fully, and I don't need to be present perfectly. It's absolutely fine for the mind to wander. I just need to be present enough to notice this moment. The body is already doing what it knows how to do, breathing, supporting itself, holding me in place. I don't need to guide this moment anywhere. I don't need to improve it. I can let it unfold at its own pace. For now, being grounded enough is enough. The second affirmation is about thoughts. You may notice the mind drifting backward, returning to moments from the past, conversations, decisions, small interactions that seemed unimportant at the time. How often does the mind circle the same moment, asking itself what could have been done differently, replaying the scene, searching for a better version of the past? If only I had said something else. If only I'd handled that differently. If only I'd known then what I know now. This is one of the mind's most familiar habits, not because it is helpful, but because it creates the feeling of control, as though revisiting the past might somehow change it. You may notice this especially after social moments, an interaction that felt ordinary, until later, when the mind returns to it with sharper questions. Why did I say that? How must I have come across? Did I seem awkward, foolish, or unprepared? These moments can return unexpectedly, bringing embarrassment, tension, or self-judgment. Sometimes hours later, sometimes long after the moment has passed. In this practice, we are not trying to correct these thoughts or replace them with better ones. Instead, we begin by noticing something simple. The event is over, but the thought about it is happening now. For this affirmation, gently remind yourself, in this moment, I am noticing a thought about the past. This thought is not the moment itself. It is a mental image, a remembered story, arising and passing in awareness. I do not need to follow it. I do not need to answer it. I can let it be here and let it move on in its own time. Just as sounds arise and fade, just as sensations come and go, these thoughts can be allowed to pass without being carried forward. Thoughts come and go. I don't have to follow every one. I can let them pass, to drift away like clouds in the sky. Thoughts are not commands. They're not instructions. They're not prophecies. They arise, they linger, and they pass. often whether we engage with them or not. This phrase isn't asking you to stop thinking. It's simply creating a little space between noticing a thought and being pulled along by it. Even a small pause can change everything. The mind may return to them again. That's okay. Each time I can notice and gently return to this moment. The third affirmation is one many people find difficult, and often the most important. I can meet this moment with kindness, even if I'm struggling. In fact, especially if I'm struggling. This isn't about indulgence, and it isn't about excuses. Kindness here is a form of stability. It means you don't add harshness on top of what's already difficult. You don't need to be calm to be kind. You don't need to be doing well. This phrase offers permission to meet yourself where you actually are. If this one feels uncomfortable, that's often a sign it's touching something real. You don't need to push it away. You can simply let the words be present. The fourth affirmation gently introduces gratitude without denying pain or difficulty. Even here, there is something steady, something small, something worth appreciating. This isn't about forcing gratitude, and it's not about pretending everything is good. Sometimes gratitude is very simple. The warmth of a drink, a moment of quiet, a breath that arrives without effort. Even noticing something neutral can soften the edges of the moment. This phrase isn't asking you to feel thankful. It's just inviting the mind to widen slightly, to notice what's also present. The final affirmation is about letting go. I can do what I can today and let the rest unfold. This is enough for now. This isn't resignation, and it isn't passivity. It's recognizing the difference between effort and strain. You can act where action is possible and release what isn't in your control. For now, this phrase offers permission to put something down, if only for a moment. You don't need to remember all of these affirmations. Even one is enough. You can return to them in any order. You can change the wording. You can let them evolve over time. This is a practice, not a rule. If this felt helpful, you're welcome to return whenever you need. And if you'd like to support this space, liking or subscribing helps these videos reach others who might be struggling too. Thank you for being here, and take care of yourself.